Sometimes I'll be talking with some friends and trying to discuss some old cartoons I remember, and they'll be like, yeah man, you remember that old obscure one that came out on Nickelodeon with the green alien? It was like so dark and radical. I'm like, oh yeah, you mean Invader Zim? Yeah man, that's the one. Nah dude, that's not too obscure. Nah, we are here today talking about shows that you're like, oh man, you right, that was a show, or huh, I never heard of that one before. What are you talking about? Being obscure for me would be something that you really have almost completely 99% forgot that was a real TV show, and it just slowly kind of drifted away and got lost by the wayside, and no pun intended. Like someone being like, damn, I thought that was like a dream or something. That was a real show? Those are where the really obscure TV shows are found. It can be really good sometimes. It's like a hidden gem found in the rough, or sometimes we go digging for some new and exciting things, and sometimes the show might be so bad we start to realize maybe the reason that we might have forgotten about it so much in the first place. But nevertheless, oh yeah, you know what time it is.
No.
These are 10 very obscure TV shows that most people forgot even existed.
This is my squadron: Piper, Finn, Junko, Stork, and of course, my co-pilot Radar.
Now it's time to bust out the machines and take flight to the skies of Atmos. Starting things off with a show named Stormhawks, a show that it was created by Canadian Nerds Corp Studios. The show is about 5 friends who love to fly and battle in the sky, together to protect their homeworld Atmos from evil creatures and the bad guys, known as the Cyclonians, while trying to stay alive and have a good time as they travel and go on so many and different adventures. The world of Atmos is a largely mountainous world consisting of scattered masses known as terras, and directly below you find the wastelands, which is the most dangerous place located in Atmos. With its infernal fires and wicked creatures, because of the geography, travel is mostly dependent on flight. The technology of Atmos is basically around energy generating crystals. These crystals are used to power the various devices in the series. Patrolling the skies of Atmos are the squadrons, all led by a Sky Knight, which are the groups of warriors who pilot motorcycle-like vehicles called skimmers. They can semi-transform into flying machines. Yeah, like Transformers. I really like the design of the main character Arrow in the show. He's always pretty smug and got a plan for action. He will not back down from anybody.
It's your job to protect Atmos. You made an oath.
Being voiced by Samuel Vincent, the same voice actor as Double D from Ed, Edd n Eddy, he also takes on one of the toughest villains in the show, named Dark Ace, who is said to have defeated the whole Sky Knight Council all by himself. So you know he's a threat to almost anyone he crosses paths with. I also enjoy their pet Radar, this blue jackrabbit looking creature. You also have Finn, the master of archery and the master of arrows, and he's mainly there for a comic relief character. Yeah, he doesn't take himself too seriously.
Oh man.
You got Piper, who is a strong young and the lone female of the group and is great in hand-to-hand combat and are very strong and gifted. You got Junko, the big brute strength for the team, being able to dish out massive blows and can lift almost nearly anything you throw at him. You got Stork, who's the brains behind the operation, and he's just really smart. And together, they make up the Stormhawks, with each being very easily to identify and having their own very unique characteristics. Plus, all the characters are very likable, so it's probably really easy for someone to find their favorite out of them. The show did pretty well, lasting 52 episodes for a whole 2 seasons, but I wish it would have continued and lasted longer. Mike, Lou, and Og. Oh yeah, we going back to the year 1999. With the show Cartoons hosted by Cartoon Network was becoming pretty popular with all the people and all the kids. The show consisted of 3 main characters. You got Mike, Lou, and Og, cause you know the show's called Mike, Lou, and Og.
Quiet!
Mike, short for Michelangeline, voiced by Nika Flutterman, which people might recognize her role doing the voice of Lola from Cat Dog or Styx the Badger from Sonic Boom series, is an 11-year-old Manhattan-born girl with red hair who enjoys features of the tropical island, but misses the life she had in New York City. But fortunately, Og, being a genius as he is in the show, he's able to make things she misses from New York life in an instance, like a television or something she might miss that happened in the city.
Just bring it back to your princess.
You also got Lou, another of the main three characters, being voiced by Nancy Cartwright, who people know as, voicing Bart Simpson in The Simpsons. Lou is a 10-year-old dim-witted self-proclaimed princess of the island, Og's cousin, and Alfred and Marjorie's niece. The two parents of the show. She is usually very loud and arrogant. Throughout the show, she continually exploits Mike, Og, and her pet turtle, Lancelot. Though she has a habit of tormenting everyone, she usually learns some sort of lesson in humility by the end of each episode, which is always, nice.
The water's less than 4 meters, 27 centimeters, and 39.11 millimeters in this immediate area.
Og being voiced by D. Bradley Baker, who is the voice actor for number 4 in the Codename Kids Next Door series. 7-year-old boy native of Alboquinatine. I probably messed that up really bad, but that is what it's called. Lou's cousin and Wendell's nephew has a predisposition to scientific theory and discovery. In many episodes, his inventions go downhill and help develop some sort of plot for the show or the episode. He is close friends with 3 animals. You got a pig named Pig, you got a goat named Goat, being voiced by himself, as well as a porcupine named Spiny. Yeah, they decided to switch it up on that last one. And they're all capable of speech and very well learned in philosophy. Together they form the Philosophical Society, discussing all sorts of science things. I'm not making this up. The show usually deals with either one of the 3 having some sort of dilemma, or in some cases they each have one, and all comes together to form the basis of the episode, and they must all come up with some sort of solution to fix the problem. And that's pretty much the show. 3 kids, 1 island, they're all going around having adventures, and they got problems, and it's up to them to work together to fix it. There you go. I just summed up the show for you.
Teemo Supremo!
Should you children be in school?
No, this isn't Marvel lowering their standards even lower than before. This is a new superhero cartoon you got here.
No.
Here we got the show called Teemo Supremo. Sounds like some jacked up Taco Bell lunch special. Created by Disney for, guess who? Yeah, Disney Channel. I hope so. Teemo Supremo is an American animated television series created in the limited animation style pioneered by Jay Ward. Predecessors, which inspired its style, it tells of 3 superhero children. You got Captain Crandall, you got Skate Lad, and you got Rope Girl. And it's up to these 3 to protect their state from all sorts of supervillains. The leader of Teemo Supremo is named Captain Crandall, who believes he is an alien superhero from another planet. Really? But his teammates in his battle catchphrase is Booza. Booza. I'm about to boo you. His gadgets include a special level 7 belt, as well as a yo-yo, marbles, a boomerang, and a shield. Man, this dude's packing. So he's like the reject Captain America from the Avengers. Sounds legit. There's Hector, also known as Skate Lad, who is the Hispanic member of Teemo Supremo, cause you gotta have diversity or you're gonna look racist. And his catchphrase is chica. Yeah, cause when you're walking up to all them girls, all the Hispanic guys are always like, hello my little chica. And that's why he's got that catchphrase.
No.
That's my theory behind it. It's a cartoon theory. We got Brenda, known as Rope Girl. That's a pretty generic name, but hey, it's a generic show. The sole female member of Teemo Supremo, she has purple hair and buck teeth, what I say about being racist, and speaks with a southern drawl. Seems racist enough. Man, who made this show? Donald Trump? Her catchphrase is woo-pa.
Don't deny it, just end it now.
I ain't gonna say it. And her gadget is jump rope, which she uses as a lasso while battling villains, but can also be used to transform herself, Crandall, and Hector into their heroic alter egos when all 3 jump rope together. So she's pretty important. I'll take back what I said about her. She's still racist though. The villains for me is what really stands out for this show. They gotta be the most freaking what the fuck is going on with these kind of looking villains with some kind of bizarre designs going on with Yeah, but it's there to help keep the show interesting, because you gotta have villains to keep the show interesting. And you can usually tell they're a villain because they're gonna be having some evil grin, and they're gonna have an odd, non-normal skin color, like purple or orange or even green. They're just like a damn rainbow on crack. You got the clown dude named the Birthday Bandit. That's not a joke, that's his name. His name is the Birthday Bandit. What does he do, rob birthdays? Oh damn, he's like keeping people younger than he robbing birthdays. People ain't gonna have birthdays, they're gonna stay young forever. Dude, pretty cool. Looking like some watered down reject version of Stephen King's It character. He's a clown and he's on a rampage for destruction, and he's gonna take down Teemo Supremo. Nah, I ain't betting on it. Also, we got this next villain, his name is Cheapskate. This dude, he don't like paying for things, he robs people, and he happens to wear skates. That's why his name is Cheapskate. And there's also this pirate dude named the Laser Pirate. And you would think, oh man, he must shoot lasers out of his eyes or something. That's really cool. Nah, it's just some dude. He went to a pool party, he drowned, well he almost drowned, and now he seeks vengeance on everybody because he's butthurt about the experience. And he now goes by the Laser Pirate, and he's afraid of water. You got Madam Snake. She's like a green Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four. She's a snake lady who manipulates her body into many forms. I'm not thinking anything. Okay, that's cool. That sounds similar to someone else, but you know. You even got the Punisher ripoff in this show, who goes by the Cloaked Skull, looking like Reaper from that dang Overwatch video game. You know, people playing that game, but that's just a coincidence. But you still written off the Red Skull and you know, other people. Oh, but the most evil of the bunch is this guy. He's the main leader of these team of super all-star villains. His name is Baron Blitz. Sounds like some reject NFL football playbook. This little blue Dorito Napoleon Bonaparte looking reject character with an undesirable hatred for Teemo Supremo, and he hates everything that they stand for, and he'll stop at nothing until he takes them down. This show is pretty fortunate to have lasted 3 years for a total of 39 episodes. So yeah, that's pretty good for you. You know, take it or leave it.
If you wanna lead a dog's life, the secret's gonna stay with you and me.
The show Cornell and Bernie is a French-British animated series about an intelligent talking dog, Cornell, and his dog sitter, Bernie Barges. The series was produced, written, and animated in France, and the English dubbing took place in London. Yay. At the Sound Company Studios, the series was produced by Millie Magus and aired in the United States on Nicktoons Network from 2004 to 2007. The show was originally called Watch My Chops, just like Cornell's catchphrase, but was later changed for US. The show follows around Bernie Barges, just your typical dim-witted teenager.
We've done it!
That has been asked by Cornell's really rich owners to look after their dog Cornell, where Bernie then accidentally discovers Cornell's secret that he is able to talk. Most episodes are driven by Cornell's reluctance to let anyone know of how intelligent he is and capable of human speech. The only person who does know is his dog sitter Bernie, whose uncle minds the apartment of Cornell's wealthy owners. Bernie being somewhat lacking in intelligence and mostly devoid of morals, all this puts Cornell in an uncomfortable position, as Bernie often takes it upon himself to be the voice of Cornell and makes things usually go south, and it's up to Cornell to save the day with his smarts and intellectuality.
What a great idea. I'd never have thought of it.
Though the two frequently bicker, they form an uneasy friendship with their diverse relationship, and they usually tend to find a way to work things out of any bad situation. A DVD of the first season has been released in 2014, and you can also learn more about this information by visiting their website. It is actually still running till this day. I'll put a link to it in the description.
We just have to relive the day's events and see what we find out.
Aha!
Now, think about it. You got a show that's based off merchandise. Will it become a good show? Will it be profitable? Will it be good? Will it last long? The answer is probably not. So, well, this is what we learned from this show. The series was produced by Nelvana and began airing on October 13, 2006 in Canada on the network's YTV, cause why not? It's on a TV.
The pain is killing me.
And the series ended in the summer of 2008. Nelvana has a wide range of established original series and characters within its roster. Some might remember some of the released shows such as 16, Flown High, Birds, and Eat the Cat. And don't forget that Beyblade dub, that was pretty good. The characters of the Ruby Gloom consist of 7 main characters. You got Ruby, who is always trying to look on the bright side of things, or as the intro puts it, the bright side. Ooh, yeah. Got some remix going on with that. You got Doom Kitty, who is the smart-ass know-it-all cat, thinks he knows everything, and most of the time usually being a bitch and the voice of reason, and always keeping Ruby straight.
What do you think is going on?
Ruby Gloom. It's about all these friends. They all live in a mansion and they live up on the hillside like some Addams Family ripoff location, and they must find and seek adventures and get into problems and fix their problems with all their diversity of characters and, you know, have a good time while doing it, or at least try. And that's the show.
That's it, the show's over. Psych! We'll be back after this break.
Chaos reigned until an army of heroes came together to protect the humans and end the war.
Here we have a British, Taiwanese, Canadian animated series called Hero 108. Created by Yang Ming, but I thought about to say the Yang Ming Dynasty, and ain't that old, for Cartoon Network back in 2010, and ended in the summer of 2012, so it lasted 2 years. The series actually lasted 104 episodes, despite it only spanning just over 2 full years, with counting each episode as 2 12-minute blocks that made up a 30-minute time slot for the airtime. The show was about these warriors fighting for Big Green. That's the place they're trying to protect, trying to restore order and peace by bringing together the humans and the animals. What are you, freaking Noah's Ark?
We better report this to Master High Roller.
The main group, known as the First Squad, that's the most creative name you can get, the First Squad. Well, what's the other squad? It's called the Second. Well, actually, that is what they're called. The First Squad consists of 5 members. You got Mr. No Hands. He's a bossy guy who can fly. And he's the overseer of the team, and he bosses around and gives orders. So yeah, there you go.
Jumpy Ghostface!
You got Jumpy Ghostface, a ghost rabbit who uses carrots and jump rope as his weapons of choice. So he's like that rabbit's rabbit thing, but a ghost. He fights with carrots and jump rope. You got Mystique Sonia, the lone female of the group, because you gotta have a female in the group or you're gonna be looking sexist. You're gonna be a sexist cartoon, because that's bad.
Ah, that's better.
She's a tough, seasoned warrior who can fight enemies with her long tongue and possesses the power to freeze enemies with her ice abilities. And she also has the power, she can turn anyone who announces their love for her 3 times in a row. Her power's curse will turn them into a Yaksha, which is the hat that she wears on her head.
Mighty Ray!
And we have Mighty Ray, the loud, over-noxious character, Mucha Lucha reject with the most annoying voice ever that never shuts the hell up and has feelings for Mystique Sonia, and this is because he likes her.
I will take the challenge. Anything to get my mind off the frustration of painting.
And finally, the last and probably most all-around self-confident of the group, you got Lin Chung, who most resembles the leader of the group, and he keeps everybody going all in one direction, and he gives them encouragement, as always, doing whatever he can to help out his friends. They fight against the High Roller, usually in the most episodes, while dealing with 2 evil zebra brothers who are always trying to put a stop to their plans, but they usually fail in the long run, regardless of their efforts or their lack of.
Uh-oh.
The art style for the show with its thick outlines always really stood out for me. It wasn't the best, but it had its own unique art style with its thick, bold outlines and memorable characters. And if I had to pick a favorite, it would probably be Lin Chung, because of him being the least of like a dumbass in the show.
I am flattered.
But all in all, a pretty cool and entertaining show to check out. Back in 1998, with stop animation being somewhat popular at the time, most companies wanted to start doing it because they wanted the money. With Tim Burton being the most famous for his works at the time, such as The Nightmare Before Christmas, also with Gumby being so popular with people at the time, and James and the Giant Peach just got released in 1996, and a few years later, this show was created. The show centers around Ralph, who is a very naughty and nasty bright red domestic cat who enjoys playing mean practical jokes on his human family while tormenting the other people in his neighborhood. Each episode usually deals with Ralph getting himself into trouble. Because of this, he's unable to stop himself from being bad, and usually his family tries to force him to learn a lesson. The dad usually gets so mad and worked up, and he looks so mad looking at Ralph. It's like, damn man, looking like he's gonna strangle somebody. I've heard of the cat burglar, but I never heard of the cat strangler. Who wrote this shit? I'm sorry. A pretty cool concept for a stop motion TV show with some good things going on for it. The writing and the dialogue for the show, it's not too bad.
Whoa, you guys look awful. You should get some fresh air.
We just got plenty of fresh air, Ralph. We also just got a ticket for doing 35 in a school zone and driving an unlicensed washing machine.
Well,
It had its moments, it had some drama, and it had pretty good character development going on with it. The series lasted a good 4 years, and it aired a total of 55 episodes, from December 25th, 1998, all the way till April 12th of 2001. Man, that's just 10 away from catching the Teen Titans number of episodes. So hey, that's pretty good. The show was broadcasted on CBBC from 1998 to 2001 and hasn't been aired on TV anywhere ever since, except for when it was aired in the UK, but the reruns ended in mid-2005.
At least we can't do any more damage around here.
Who's ready to see some good old Flash animation? Well, you ain't gonna find it here. Nope, this ain't no Newgrounds cartoons. These are real TV shows airing on the TV. I'm not kidding. We have the Princess Natasha show. Hey, you want me to tell you what it is? Here, let the intro explain to you all what this show is all about.
Beloved King Carl's older brother Lubeck has launched a series of attacks to try to capture the throne. Lubeck plots his next dastardly feat. No, not that feat. That feat! Princess Natasha, who also happens to be King Carl's daughter and Lubeck's niece, can stop Lubeck and save Zoravia! Disguised as an exchange student. No, not that disguise. That disguise! Princess Natasha lives with the O'Brien family and goes,
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Good friends?
The best. Same time next year.
Good. Because if you boys ever touch the experimental weapons without permission again, you're gonna need a friend.
Alright, here we go. We're getting into some action shows finally. Now, we got The Secret Saturdays. Now, this was an American animated TV series created by, once again, Canadian artist, man, Canada rolling, Canadian cartoonist Jay Stevens, who some might know for Tuttenstein that aired on Discovery Kids.
Yeah.
On Cartoon Network, it debuted on October the 3rd, 2008 in the United States. The series follows the adventures of the Saturdays, because yeah, the show is called The Secret Saturdays. Who you think it's going to follow? A family of cryptozoologists who work to keep the truth about cryptids from getting out in order to protect both the human race and the creatures themselves. Cryptids being the creatures that some might not seem to exist because of no definite information. Well-known examples include the Yeti in the Himalayas, the Loch Ness Monster in Scotland, Sasquatch in North America, and you got the Chupacabras in the Americas. The Saturdays travel to Earth searching for cryptids, to study and battling twisted villains like the megalomaniac V.V. Argos. The series is influenced by the style of 1960s era Hanna-Barbera action series such as Johnny Quest, and is combined with Jay Stevens' own personal interest in cryptozoology. The show finished its run in January 30th, 2010. The Saturdays appeared in a Ben 10 Omniverse episode TGIS. No, not TGI Friday, which, would be good right about now. Teaming up with Ben Tennyson and Rook Blanco and stopping the villain Dr. Animo. The Secret Saturdays lasted 2 seasons for 36 episodes. But I wish it would have lasted longer. I really liked the concept and how the animation was, and the drawings and designs for this show. It really did have that Kim Possible mix with Johnny Quest feel going on for it, and those two were 2 great shows in their own right, so combining them, hey, that's double the fun.
We gotta hide all our spy stuff quick.
The Exes. A lot of people always seem to forget about this show existing because of its short run on the network. The Exes was one of those shows you had that would come on TV and you'd be like, damn, what's this, another insurance commercial? Cause that was a thing at the time. But it had its own pizzazz about it. The show was about 4 spies trying to fight against evil while trying to live normal lives but completely failing miserably in the long run. There's Mr. X, who is like a clumsier James Bond. He's usually always getting easily triggered and angry at the most simplest of situations, so I find him to be pretty funny most of the time. I really enjoy his voice, but since he has the same voice as Joe from Family Guy, sometimes that's all you can think of.
Wait a second, you don't have any friends.
There's also Mrs. X, who is a terrible cook, but very skilled in hand-to-hand combat. She's usually always putting a big beating on their sworn enemy Glowface, along with any other villain they might meet. Glowface, being voiced by, and maybe you heard of him, Chris Hardwick. He's pretty popular these days, the famous comedian who voiced the cow Otis from Back at the Barnyard, and voices Craig in the series Sanjay and Craig.
Puny X's, just what command army of moles.
They even got the villain Sasquatch being voiced by Macho Man Randy Savage, so this cast is just full of star power. She can usually be seen wearing clothes similar to what they wear in Star Trek, like gray jumpsuits and such. She's pretty funny and all, while going off of Dad's humor most of the time, so when you get both of them together, it makes for a great comedy. There's Truman X. Truman X is the youngest and also the smartest in the family, always designing new weapons and technology to show off his intellect to prove how much smarter he is to everyone, especially always trying to crash in on his sister Tuesday's plans or motives. You got Tuesday X. She's the punk girl of the family and a rebel. She's very caring and seems most realistically relatable to real life. As far as the X family goes, she usually is pretty laid back and just trying to live her life in her own way, but being a secret spy kind of gets in the way of that most of the time. She has a crush on this dude named Brandon, who is secretly related to their enemy Glowface, in which they try to make a relationship work, but that's not really working out too well because all the time they try to get together, they're always fighting with some villains, and that just makes for an uneasy relationship.
Who's that?
All in all, The Exes was a great show and definitely deserved more than 20 episodes while it was airing. Hey, I appreciate you guys watching. That's the video. That's 10 obscure shows. If you remember some of them, let me know in the comments. And hey, tell me which ones you enjoyed the most. Which ones did I leave out? Maybe some shows that you forgot about. And hey, I'll see you guys next time. Corey out. Peace.